Why, good morning, you beautiful souls. Welcome to a Sunday Satsang. I'm super excited for this one because tomorrow is a full moon. And with these past essentially 2.5, 3-ish weeks, there's been a lot of energy coming in, a lot of different arrangements of the planets. And one of the ways it's kind of impacted us, as all of these doorways of opportunity serve as, it's a reminder. Now, I know personally, I don't know about you, but in my circle and in my own life and experience, there's been a lot of patterns coming up of old. There's been numerous kind of, I guess you would say, conditionings, pains that one may think, like myself and many others, thought that we were kind of over, that we had pushed through, that we had detached from. But as life goes, it was that reminder that not quite. The egoic aspects are always trying to bring us to that point of liberation. So with everything that's been going on these past few weeks, we again come to this tipping point of the full moon, where it's your investment to really determine what side you want to utilize these reminders for. Are you going to let the cycles and patterns keep repeating, or are you going to allow this opportunity that this, seemingly gone or seemingly detached conditioning or past experience or trauma comes back up? Are you going to release it? Are you going to liberate yourself from it? Are you going to heal and learn and grow from it? So we're doing that this morning using the power of breath, some pranayama. Now, the purpose of this is to give you the tools and firsthand experience to witness the energetic and the subtle and not so subtle happenings that arise when you practice breath control. Now, you're not consciously going to be strained, at least I hope, but you're going to start to build yourself up to a point where you may not be breathing for a little bit, holding your breath gently. And when you're in this state, I offer you the opportunity to let go, relax, allow yourself to carry that grace from the morning into this practice so you can begin to utilize these tools on your own, because there's nothing more important than breath. It's the first thing we do when we come out of the womb, and it's the last thing we do before we depart this plane. That inhale and exhale and the life and many breaths in between. So come to know your source, come to recognize your power, and it starts through the breath. The first reminder that I'm going to give, though, is just make sure that you're breathing from your lower dantian. So your belly button down there. You want to put your hand right on your belly button, point your finger, that is, and you're kind of really focus on making that expand and contract when you're breathing. So if you need to have one hand there, another hand on your heart, you can tap that, start to open it up, tap the third eye, whatever center you're feeling is blocked. Give yourself some chance just to tap it, knock on the door of your own being and say, hey, wake up, good morning. And with that being said, get your last few wiggles out. We're going to get right into this. I lovingly invite you into the space of the heart so that you may unfold and awaken to the power and potential of your own experience and doing. When you hear the first 3 taps of the singing bowl, this journey begins by taking a nice deep breath with each inhale of the singing bowl. And as the bell rings, release that breath into a gentle yet powerful om. Allow yourself to relax the jaw so you can sing that A note like a nice sigh of relief. And as you close the mouth, naturally, the note will turn from an A to the U to the M as the mouth closes. Begin to ground yourself and center yourself in the knowing that you are the witness, that you are the observer. You're the silent, all-knowing window of awareness that is known as me, myself, and I, this sense of beingness, this sense of self. It's here we give ourselves permission to let go, permission to be. Simply allow ourselves to marinate within our own being. It's this beautiful morning, this experience that we get to live, that we let go of the past, the future, and remain here in the now, allowing each moment to unfold effortlessly. Hear the final tap of the singing bowl again. Shift your attention to the sound of the bowl as it rings. And as it fades into silence, so too release that breath and exhale, allowing yourself to let go of any bodily tension, any emotional pressure, and all mental chatters. Simply relax. Allow the body to be. Pay no attention to the happenings around you, to any twitches or any other physical sensations. But again, place your hand on that lower dantian, that lower furnace. And as our diaphragm begins to pump the air, contracting, relaxing, going in and out, begin to take note of the feeling of the hand moving against the stomach. Don't necessarily focus on the breathing itself or the sensation of air moving to and from the lungs, but that physical sensation expanding, pushing the hand away and contracting, drawing it in towards the body. If necessary, you can place one hand on your jugular vein so you can get your heart rate. But if not, comfortably find a nice rhythm for your breath. Begin to draw in an inhale, filling yourself up with as much love and air and light as you can, comfortably, for 4 seconds or beyond, whatever fits for you. And again, hold that breath for just as long as you drew it in. And as the body begins to warm, slowly release that air just as long as you breathed in and held it. And as you could have guessed, hold the body empty of air. It's this 4 cycles, this 4 seasons, this box breathing that we'll use to begin to bring the initial awareness to the sense of the body moving in and out, the air around, the energy within. Continue to breathe in such a fashion comfortably until a rhythm is established. And with everything else in these satsangs and meditations, simply listen to the voice being spoken. Allow all else to run automatically like so much of the body autonomy already does. It's in these moments, it's in this practice of pranayama, the power of breath becomes aware and present to our beingness. It's this recognition that through a simple exhale and inhale, we can let go of all bodily tension. We can bring ourselves back to center. We can liberate. We can heal. We can transform. And just as 1 minute can last an eternity, or hours flying by like minutes, all it takes is but one breath to fully liberate ourselves and transform our experience. For it's this point of breathing, allowing the body to take control, yet us gently observing and watching, that allows us to relax, that allows us to detach from the body, to utilize one of its many core functions as a point of liberation and healing for the soul. As you continue to breathe in this box-style fashion, finish one final cycle of this breathing. And on your next inhale, draw in as much air as you can again into the body, filling up the lower abdominal wall before transitioning it up to the upper lungs and the chest, filling up the entirety of the cavity of the body and torso. And from here, release all the air within the body through one sigh of relief, opening and relaxing the jaw as such. Again, take 2 more breaths in this fashion. filling up the entirety of the stomach and the chest and releasing all at once. And again, one more breath here. It's at this moment in time you should feel the body becoming warm. Come to understand that this is your own chi, this is your own vital energy flowing around within, to and from the vehicle that is this bodily flesh. Pick back up with your box breathing and simply marinate in your own beingness. What is it and where do you observe the pressure and sensations? Do you feel them as heat or almost an electromagnetic push, like two magnets repelling each other? Do you feel it as something sparkly, shimmering? There are many interpretations of how we feel our own bodily energy, but allowing the body to settle in this terms of box breathing, breathing like the seasons, that we begin to initially distribute the energy throughout the entirety of the system. For our lower dantian is a pump. It is the origin and source of all of our prana, our chi, and as it floods and carries itself through the system, there may be blockages that arise. Continue to relax. Give the body permission to let go of any and all tensions so that it may freely move and release such tensions and blockages. As we continue this breathing, remind yourself, let go. Control not. Allow yourself to lay back within your experience as if you're watching a film as we continue and proceed in this practice. When you hear the tap of the singing bowl, we will begin a round of 11 breaths, taking 10 breaths as quickly as we can, in, out, through the nose. And on that 11th breath, we'll take a nice deep inhale and hold it as long as we can. If you happen to release your exhale before I do, or others in the meditation with you, come back to your box breathing, that natural cycle and harmony of even inhales, holding, exhales, and being empty of air. Again, allow yourself to remain calm, relaxed. Remain within the vehicle. Simply observe the happenings within the form, the tensions, the emotions, the sensations and thoughts that drop away. Know that here in the breath it is your power to clear the ground of your being, to remain and know such peace and calm. As you release your exhale again, come back to the box breathing. The next tap of the singing bowl, we will increase the rounds to 20 breaths. And on that 21st breath, again, we draw in a nice deep inhale and hold it as long as we can. Continue with your box breathing, the 4 seasons of breath, if you happen to release your inhale and exhale early, or whenever the body sees fit. But it's in these moments we want to try to hold it as long as we can. And just as the awareness, the initial physical pull will bring your attention and awareness into the body, let go. Observe. Trust and know that your body will protect you. It will keep you safe. And that's its job here. Remember, that is the role of the ego: protection, safety, security. It expresses itself how it's learned to express, but ultimately, it is our friend. Befriend it in this practice by trusting it to take control of the breath, to let go of the exhale and drop away the physical identity and attachment. As we continue this round of 20 breaths, inhaling at the 21st. It's here again. Allow yourself to simply be. Do not release the exhale. Hold it as comfortably as long as you can. Detach from the body. Begin to observe all the happenings, the difference in energy, the flow, the boundless and limitless nature of the sensation and knowing of the body as it begins to let go. Again, continue with your box breathing. With our next round, again, moving upwards to 30 breaths. And on that 31st, we take that long, deep inhale. When you hear the tap of the singing bowl, we shall begin. Again, remind yourself, let go. Allow the body to take control and simply observe every happening of the physical, the inner, the outer, the energetic, the ethereal. Distance yourself from this physical attachment and identity and sit in the throne of the soul as your true position is that silent witness and knower. Marinate within your own experience. Allow yourself to observe the energies moving about and around, the state of calm and peace that is observed. And know that it is of your own doing and creation. Fundamentally, it's this attention of awareness, this affection of that in which we experience that brings us to whatever we seek. And in this moment of breath, this practice of pranayama, the objective and the goal is to simply focus on the breathing and to lose yourself. Or rather, as we know, lose that attachment, that fixation that we have with the body. And just like any child that is bored, doesn't feel like they're being heard or valued or respected, we act out. So too the body acts out when we don't give it what it's always asking for. Those new experiences, the goodness of delicious, tasty, nutritious, and healthy foods, exercise, this spiritual practice to heal those wounds of the heart. Come back to your box breathing. Comfortably, effortlessly. Pay it no attention at this point if you do not need to. For again, this practice is one of building trust back, giving a task to the body so that it may do what it wants to do, experience, live, do. And again, just as that rowdy child that was once the troublemaker, once given a task, once challenged, they're at peace. There are many subtleties that we can learn from the world around us, but the most fundamental is how we interact with our body is but a mirror and reflected state of how others act and carry themselves in this world. We learn these lessons by simply observing, self-reflecting. And it's important to recognize here that in this task of giving the body permission to take over the breath is one of the most sacred opportunities for it. It does it all the time, but to be seen, to be valued, to be given permission to breathe, to force in air, prana, and chi throughout the system, to redistribute, reharmonize, and most importantly, expel the stagnant, tension-filled energies of the body. Your form is grinning ear to ear, just knowing that it has this opportunity awaiting it. And the beautiful aspect of our breath is that it is something that is always present. Although this stacked pyramid setup of rounds and breathing brings us closer to that state of peace by force through the physical motions and operations of how this energy works and flows. But when done with love and an exploration and the aspirations to heal and transform, the breath becomes a powerful tool of transformation. Marinate within yourself. This final round of breathing will be somewhat different than our previous. We will bring ourselves back to a point of taking 10 deep breaths, filling ourselves up with as much air, chi, and prana as we can. But on that 11th breath, we take one more inhale and essentially release the exhale and hold ourselves empty of air as long as we can comfortably. Instead of breaths through the nose, we'll take one breath in and out through the mouth. In such fashion, all the way until 11, where we will breathe in through the nose as much as we can and breathe in with our mouth as much as we can, and then release the breath in whatever fashion we seek. And hold the body empty of air. Again, as long as you can comfortably. Push the body if you can. And again, bring it back to the box breath. If you can, increase the duration as long as you can. When you hear the next tap of the singing bowl, allow yourself to bring your awareness back to the being that we know as self, back to the body. And when you take another deep breath in with that sound of the bowl as it rings, fill yourself up with as much light, that sea of energy, prana, chi in which we live in, and transform into a powerful yet gentle Om. Namaste. I bow to the divine within you. Mm, 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 mm. Thank you so much for tapping in. I hope that you had an amazing satsang this morning. And most importantly, with this aspect of breath control, practicing our chi, I guess you would say assimilation and release, there's many avenues in which you can explore with pranayama. There's many practices that you can utilize. I mean, we really didn't even get into isolating one side of the body in the breath, but there's numerous things that you can do to essentially force the body to pump itself up with as much chi as you can to almost forcibly release those blockages. Now, if you are feeling yourself getting hot, great sign that you are really leveling up, that your body's utilizing the chi control, that you're moving the energy. And one thing that I really implore each and every one of you to do is practice this 2 times a day. Obviously, this one takes a little bit longer when you do the stacked breathing, just the format that we're going through slow, but you can do your breath work in 5 minutes, in 10 minutes each day, morning, night. Doesn't take long. But what you can start to do is observe the flow of your energy. You can feel where certain parts may still feel cold in the body, where they feel hot. Heat is necessarily a point of tension. Think about friction, right? You rub your hands enough together, they're going to start to feel hot. That is essentially what's arising within your energy system, that there is some tension, that there is a lot of energy moving around. So the bodily natural response is heat. Really marinate in that, because this brings so much weight to the different monks and mystics that would be out in the tundras or out in the mountains, meditating in a loincloth and being completely fine. There's so much potential to the human experience. There are ways to induce quote unquote psychedelic experiences, or really you tapping into more of your abilities that are in the intangible realm. But again, it's the breath that allows us this space to separate. That's the most important thing here, is it's the distinction of, oh wow, the body's doing its own thing and I'm just watching it. That can arise more and more and more. And again, the more you practice, the stronger that muscle gets, the easier it gets to drop into that peace. And after a while, hopefully, you can just take a single breath and it'll bring you that much peace and calm that everything else does in terms of those stacked breathings, those pyramid setups. And that's the real magic. Because when you can bring yourself back to center in a breath, you can release the tension in a shake it out and an exhale. Whew, you're entering that superhuman level stuff. So, again, I thank you so much for tapping in. Don't forget to smash that like, subscribe, share, do all the good stuff that they do here on YouTube. And most importantly, may the fruit of knowledge offer a seed. And in that seed, may your love, will, and intuition give life and nourishment, for a tree shall grow. And in its shade may you find peace, and offer peace to all whom ask. Namaste. I bow to the divine within you, and I love you so much. Have a great day. Have a great life. Take care. Peace.